Hi, I'm Andre and I want to show you Gaston, a development tool we're building and using at Vigor.io. I'm not going to give you any boring introduction, I'll just show you how it works. So let's start, and I have an empty folder. Let's run gaston init and we'll get an npm init prompt. Let's just say yes to everything. And now we have an empty git repository, a git ignore file, and a package.json. So let's take a look at them. Uh, the package.json comes from npm init, the basic properties, and it has a Gaston section with all the default configurations for Gaston, which we don't need to think about right now. We have a git ignore file, which is a standard front-end git ignore. So now we have a project. Let's create an application. So Gaston bootstrap, and as you can see, we have an index.html, an index.js, and a styles.less file. The index.html is just an HTML skeleton with a link referencing bundle.css and a script tag referencing bundle.js. Those files don't exist yet. They're going to be compiled by Browserify. So I'm going to start a dev session, Gaston dev, which launches an HTTP server on port 8080. This is the server address, which is your local IP, and the socket server, which Gaston uses to communicate to the browser, is listening on port 9001. So we can just type launch here, and we'll get a new tab with the application running. Right now, the application isn't doing anything. This is some boilerplate code from Gaston. Let's see what we can do with it. So we have this index.js, which is the beginning, the source where Browserify is going to compile. And let's say here that I want to do a console.log, hello world, this is Gaston. And I save, and automatically the browser reloads, and I have this console.log here, so it's pretty fast. And as you can see, I'm also requiring styles.less, which is where this background now is defined. Yeah, basically now you have all the development flow that you would get from a heavy configuration with Grunt or with Gulp. And as you can see, it was really quick and easy to set up and running. What I usually do in terms of organizing my applications is I create a new folder, app or source or whatever, which is going to contain all the codes related to the specific to this application. So I will create a new file, which inside app, which will be index.js, and let's say that module.export equals, and I will have an init function, which basically will just write to the body yay, we're up and running. And I'm saving it. This file is yet not being watched by Gaston because it wasn't compiled yet. So what we need to do is come here and say something like var app equals require dot slash app, which will get the index.js inside. Now it's compiling, and now I can run app.init. Yay, as you can see, everything refreshed everything recompiled. It's really quick, the compilation. Um, it's using Watchify to cache all the data needed. And also, if I come here and change badass to black, for example, I get the black background. And so here in my application file, I can also have a require, and it doesn't need to be called styles. I can say something dot less and create the file. Call it something dot less, and let's say that our body has color white. I save it, but I still need to come here and save again to get the file. And again, everything just recompiles, everything, the browser refreshes, and it's really easy to get with this flow in development. These are the files that are generated by Browserify, which is this is the compilation of the JavaScript, and also this is the CSS compiled, which has the CSS that we just wrote, but also has some CSS specific to Gaston. Let's not worry about that. And yeah, you can also use imports from less. For example, imagine that I would want global.less file. And this is the file that is going to contain body, background, color red, for example. Nothing happens, of course, but if I come here to something.less, first of all, let's take away this require, because the file doesn't exist anymore, so we don't get the black background. And in something.less, I want to use the import directive of less, so dot slash global dot less. So you see, I just saved, and we're back with the background red, which comes from global.less. You can import, for example, global.less many times from many files, that it will only be written once, and that's because we started using Lessify, which is a Browserify transformed to allow us to require less files inside the JavaScript code. We loved the idea, but we didn't find everything we needed there, so we created this Lessify transform, which is on npm, and you can use it somewhere else if you want. Just have a look at what it can do for you. That's it for now. Thank you, and the next one will be on using Gaston with an existing project that you might have already with the Grunt or Gulp, or without any kind of automation. I'll see you next time. Thanks.